Yo, coach, with this heat training craze, should I be doing my inside riding without a fan and wearing lots of clothes?
Jeff, that's an excellent question. Heat training, yes, is becoming kind of the craze of the winter training now as people are preparing for next season. Heat training was done in some pro teams, I believe, this past year. And a lot of people really started to like it because it allows the body to adapt to higher temperature conditions. Um, as for doing no fan or even wearing clothes during indoor rides, I'm certainly not against it. There's a couple different ways you can do heat training, either doing 1 week on, 3 weeks off with 1 day a week just to kind of maintain that heat training. You could also do just the endurance rides. You should be able to get a lot of the benefits provided you are spinning a little bit closer to higher end zone 2. Generally, for the heat training, individuals need to be at least in some sort of tempo capacity to get the benefits from heat training. But at that sense, you might be building up too much fatigue doing them just on the endurance rides. And so, generally, for my athletes, I recommend it during our threshold intervals, at least 1 day a week, and then having 1 day where the threshold intervals are at a normal temperature. There is also some benefits to heat training in terms of body weight loss. I've noticed anecdotally, a lot of my athletes tend to lose weight during the summer. This has to do with the body most likely eating less as your body is it's just warmer out. Your food cravings and caloric intake is going to be less. Most people anecdotally also put on weight over winter. Generally, the body, in order to keep itself warm, is going to start putting on fat, either in the sense of brown fat to increase thermogenesis, which is a well-known phenomenon with cold shock, and that's actually what most experts believe you should be doing to lose body weight over the long term. And I certainly can see the benefits of doing like a cold plunge to try and increase thermogenesis. As long as it's away from the adaptive stimulus of an exercise, at least 4 hours. But the body generally during cold shock wants to start putting on fat to maintain or increase the thermal capacity and retain body heat as a way to reduce the amount of metabolic activity but also increasing the body heat. But generally during the cold, the body is going to start putting on fat as a means of warming the body up without increasing the metabolic capacity, which could be costly during the winter months when the metabolic capacity is going up already due to it just being cold. The last thing I want to say is that for heat adaptation to occur, it generally takes about 7 to 10 days for the body to adapt. So, if you are looking at doing some sort of heat adaptation protocol, I would recommend at least a week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of some sort of heat adaptation, um, generally 10 to 15 degrees warmer than you are used to, and exercising at a tempo intensity at least 2 to 3 days a week. During that time, if you can do more of your rides, that's a benefit. But do realize that it places a greater toll on the cardiovascular system, and sometimes recovery can go down. In other instances, recovery can seem easier because you're not going as intense, and so the muscular strain tends to be reduced. And do note that dehydration and heat stroke are also common among athletes who are not hydrated enough and who do exercise in extreme temperatures. So if you are planning to do some sort of heat adaptation regiment, please do be careful. Drink lots and eat a lot. Um, if you have any questions for me, please send us a video at freebirdcoach@gmail.com saying, "Yo, coach," with your question, and I'd be happy to answer it.